is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. It's been a while since I've been able to record over here because I've had a broken tripod for a few months, but hey, I finally got a new tripod. We're finally back here in front of the collection instead of just a couch and a blank wall. So yeah, it feels pretty good. Today we're going to be doing a video that I've been wanting to do for quite some time, but I've just kind of put it off and put it off. We're going to be going over my 10 favorite items in my WWE collection, and as you can see, there's a lot of it here and just all over this room in general. I do want to do a full room tour very soon, but I do need to clean this place up, and I still have a lot of things that I need to like put up and hang up and all that good stuff. But today you're getting a little bit of a preview because once again we're going over my 10 favorite items in my collection. So let's go ahead and get right onto the list with number 10. Coming in at number 10 on the list is actually two items that tie together, and I believe that happens a couple times on this list. But regardless, here they are. First of all, we've got my Undisputed Era signed Epic Moments 3-pack and the Undisputed Era signed t-shirt by Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, and Adam Cole. Unfortunately, Roderick Strong isn't on either of these. This one was from before he was actually in the group, and this one, of course, he isn't in the 3-pack, so I had him sign the 8x10, which you can see on my wall right here. I'm not going to really include that because it's just an 8x10. I think these are a little bit cooler. But we've got this that I did get signed at Ringside Fest last year. I did a little bit of a vlog for that whenever I met Undisputed Era last year. It was a pretty amazing experience. They were all really, really cool, and I did want to get this thing signed, so I ended up buying a second one to keep mint on card and then get signed by Undisputed Era at the event. And then this one, of course, did happen at WrestleMania 34 Access when I met all three of them. And I actually did the hand gesture wrong in that picture, which is why I wanted to meet them again come Ringside Fest when I got this signed. But both experiences were really amazing. Undisputed Era is up there in my favorite wrestlers, of course, and I just love this figure, how it looks signed, and I really do love how I got it signed in gold Sharpie, and it just really does stick out here on the shirt. Both items are just absolutely amazing. Once again, Undisputed Era are four of my favorite wrestlers. I love having these in the collection. I do not collect mock figures like whatsoever. This is maybe like one of three that I actually have mock, and I just love how they look all signed. The Kyle O'Reilly signature on the figure is just a little bit smudged, but other than that, it looks absolutely perfect, and the shirt is just flawless in my opinion. I absolutely love it. So both of these items were included on the list in the number 10 spot. Up next on the list, we've got another item that I did get signed by a lot of superstars at WrestleMania, and it is my WrestleMania 34 shirt here. It's the I Was There Once, you know, it says I was there on the back. You can only buy it at the WrestleMania Superstore, and I got this signed by the majority of the people that I did meet at WrestleMania 34, as you can take a look there. It's just covered in autographs. My favorite one on this shirt would probably be Tommaso Ciampa, or Samoa Joe's another good one, but I did end up getting this signed by a whole ton of people. Basically everyone I met at WrestleMania 34, aside from the people who I had signed my Intercontinental title replica, and ones that I had signed other t-shirts, which would be the Undisputed Era shirt that I just showed, and I also had Pete Dunne sign his shirt. But the majority of the people that I did meet at WrestleMania 34 are on here. The Revival is on here, Heath Slater, Rhino, the Brian Kendrick, Jack Gallagher, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, Jason Jordan, Ruby Riott. But honestly, there are just so many on here. I don't think I could really name or identify them all. As you can see, it's just literally covered in signatures. But I do love this item a lot. It's a really good memory from WrestleMania 34. I do like to try and get like a lot of autographs on one item when I go to WrestleMania rather than carrying like 30 different items to get signed. So this just worked absolutely perfect. And I do recommend doing this if you ever go to WrestleMania Access or any other big event. Up next on the list is an autographed framed picture from WrestleMania 3, and it is signed by Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and the Macho Man Randy Savage. This one I didn't actually get signed myself, of course, but I was fortunate enough to buy it at a silent auction during an independent wrestling show that I was at years ago. I've had this thing in my collection for quite a few years now. I want to say at least like 2 or 3. I know I was doing YouTube at the time because I remember making a video on it, but this is a really cool item in the collection, honestly, because I think it's like super rare nowadays to get an autograph from Macho Man Randy Savage and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. I do have the certificate of authenticity for this thing. It's got to be extremely rare to have these two on a signed picture together from their classic match at WrestleMania 3, so it's definitely up there in the collection. Coming up next on the list is my chalk line Seth Rollins jacket. I've had this thing for about a year now, but I actually didn't do an unboxing on it. Reason being is I bought this one at the same time that I bought my girlfriend the Shawn Michaels one for Christmas, so you know, if I did an unboxing of this one, it was right before Christmas, and I know she had that on her list. It kind of would have made it obvious, so I just figured I'd not do a video about it, but I think I posted on Instagram. I know I did a photo shoot with it, and I wore it at WrestleMania, so you guys have seen it in a few videos, I believe, definitely on Instagram if you follow me there, but I haven't really shown it off much here on YouTube at all. But I have had it for over a year. You know, it's not something that I'm going to wear every single day, but I wear it to pretty well every wrestling show that I end up going to. But I absolutely love this thing. I've wanted to have a chalk line jacket in my collection for so long, and Seth has been one of my favorite superstars for a while, so I did decide to get this one. This one was also on sale. It was only like $80, so I absolutely love how this looks. The chalkline jackets are just so beautiful, and it's definitely a welcome addition to my collection. I was really stuck between buying this one versus the Hardy Boys one, but the Hardy Boys one, they were actually sold out in my size, so I did decide to go with the Seth Rollins one. But I just love everything about this jacket, and it really does make you stand out whenever you're at shows. Up next on the list is my favorite action figure that I have in my collection, my favorite WWE figure, and it is this custom BEW Animations Tommaso Ciampa figure. This thing is just absolutely a piece of art. I love it so very much. He put so much work into this figure. The thing is 100% hand painted. He's got sculpted on belt and like literally real wig hair put onto the beard. And BEW Animations, if you know of him over on Instagram or here on YouTube, he's just an absolute artist, and he just literally spared no details on this figure. Everything is captured completely. It looks so much like Tommaso Ciampa. It's his attire from NXT TakeOver New Orleans, which I was at, and it was one of my favorite matches I've ever seen live. And of course, Tommaso Ciampa, if you follow the channel, you will know, is my favorite wrestler in the WWE right now. So I do absolutely love the hell out of this figure. It's just so beautiful, and it literally just stays on display. I don't use it for pic feds or posing it around really, because I just do not want to mess up this beautiful piece of art. It literally just sits here on my shelf and just looks beautiful because it's just absolutely amazing. I had an incident a few months ago where it actually fell off of my shelf and one of the legs broke off, but I was able to actually fix it and use a piece of a thumbtack to like put a little bionic leg on him to basically hold the leg to the side of the joint on the figure, and you know, it stays on there. It's only going to be really used for display purposes, so as long as it looks okay, that's all that really matters to me. But he pretty well just lives on the shelf and just sits there like the absolute piece of art it is. BEW Animations is an absolute beast, and I love this figure so very much. Coming up next on my list is my commemorative Money in the Bank briefcase. If you guys have been following me for a long time, I got this thing WrestleMania 33 weekend on my trip there, and I wanted to do what I had done the previous year at WrestleMania 32 and buy a replica and have it signed by everyone, but I ended up going with the Money in the Bank briefcase. One thing, it's lighter, you could probably fit more signatures on it, and it's easier to carry around than a belt, you know. If you've ever done Mania weekend before and you've just lugged a replica title around, you'll know what I'm talking about. They get so heavy, and your shoulder just literally kills you by the end of the day. So this thing was really handy to just carry around. I could literally fit all my other stuff in there. And then I will turn it around now and show you guys all the autographs that I've gotten on here. It was basically everyone that I met WrestleMania 33 weekend. I don't think I got anything else signed that entire weekend. There's a lot of really good autographs on here. We've got like Naomi, Ember Moon, Ty Dillinger, AOP, the Usos, American Alpha, Jinder Mahal. My personal favorite probably being Sami Zayn, Cassius Ohno's on there, Sin Cara. But there are just so many autographs on here. A lot more than I can honestly name. But I just love how this thing looks. It's not quite as up there as the replica titles that I have, but I do really love the Money in the Bank briefcase, and I love all the memories it holds with my trip to Orlando for WrestleMania 33. And it's basically the same idea as my WrestleMania 34 shirt, just to get one item signed by pretty well everyone that I had met the entire weekend. And I think it just looks absolutely amazing. So coming up next on my list is again 4 things that are grouped together, and these are my 4 WrestleMania programs from every WrestleMania that I've been to. I know a lot of people that go to WrestleMania try to get something every year, whether it's the posters, the bears, the cups, the t-shirts, just anything. There's so much WrestleMania merchandise, and it's cool to get the same thing every single year, which I've done before. I've got the posters for WrestleMania 33 and 34. You can see over here I've got the cups from WrestleMania 33 and 35. I've got the t-shirts from 34 and 35, but the one thing that I've been able to do at all 4 of the WrestleManias that I've been to is get the posters. Nothing else has stayed consistent between all the other WrestleManias. I've gotten, you know, the odd piece of merch and such, but the one thing I've gotten every single year is the programs. So first up, we do have the WrestleMania 32 program here. We, of course, up next have got the WrestleMania 33 program. We have got the WrestleMania 34 program, and most recently the WrestleMania 35 program. Now I do actually have a few signatures in all of them. I'm not going to really flip through them and pick them out because I'm not even sure which ones are in which book at this point, but I just really do like that I've been able to stay consistent with one thing all 4 of my WrestleManias. It's just cool to have something, to have this one thing that I've gotten all 4 years in a row, and you know, it's the one thing I've managed to stay consistent with, and I plan on it. Every time I go to WrestleMania, I do plan on getting these programs, and I just absolutely love them. They're huge, they look really good, the pages inside. There's just so much about WrestleManias and the rosters. There's spots to get signed, and yeah, it breaks down every WrestleMania match. I absolutely love it. I love the programs, and I highly doubt that I'll ever stop collecting them when I go to WrestleMania because they're just so nice and so worth the amount of money. So we are now in the top 2 items on the list finally, and coming in at number 2 on the list is sitting right behind me here. And this is my WWE VIP Experience chair. I've only done the VIP Experience once last summer. It was pretty expensive. I've only done the VIP Experience once last summer, and this is the only chair I have in my collection. As you know, for pay-per-views, usually it's like first 10 rows, I believe. Get a commemorative chair to take home, or you can get them at the WWE VIP Experience, obviously, which is what I did. And it's literally the same idea as the pay-per-view chairs. You sit on these chairs when you're in the first few rows, and then at the end of the night, you get to take it home, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful collector's piece. Originally, when I was planning to do the VIP Experience, I was going to do Raw and SmackDown in Toronto and do the 2 TV shows, but then I realized they were doing a house show just an hour away with the SmackDown roster only, and I was able to do the VIP Experience, which cost about the same amount as going to the 2 shows separately. I've done Raw and SmackDown countless times, so I wanted to try the VIP Experience just once, and I think it was absolutely worth it. I got to meet Jeff Hardy, Becky Lynch, and Shinsuke Nakamura, sit front row, lots of interactions with the superstars, and of course this beautiful chair to take home along with some other merchandise. And I still do have the vlog up on my channel if you guys want to check it out from last year. It was just a really fun experience overall, and it was definitely worth it. I do want to do the VIP Experience again sometime, hopefully I can, but I absolutely love this beautiful chair, and it's one of my favorite items in my collection. Alright guys, we're at number 1, and I think you all pretty much already know what is at number 1. It is a tie between my 2 replica titles. We've got the WWE Intercontinental Championship, the white strap 2014 version, and my first ever replica, the current WWE Championship. These things are both signed by quite a few superstars. This one has custom side plates on it. I just absolutely love them both. Honestly, I just wanted to group them together at number 1 on the list. If I had to pick one favorite, it's going to be the World Championship, just because I've had it longer. It's got a lot more signatures, and it was, you know, the first ever real big purchase I was able to make pretty much on my own at WrestleMania 32 in Dallas. It was my first WrestleMania, so this belt just has so much sentimental value to me. Whereas this one I did get just before WrestleMania 34. I haven't had it quite as long. I still absolutely love it, but if I had to pick one, it would definitely be the World Championship. But regardless, these belts are just beautiful. I actually took prom pictures with my girlfriend with them, and you know, I've brought them to quite a few shows, and a lot of people really get a kick out of them. Whenever they come into this room here and they're not really fans of wrestling, they're like, oh, are those like real titles and all that? But anyways, we'll go into detail with each one at a time, starting off with the Intercontinental Championship. So here's the Intercontinental Championship. This is my favorite WWE belt design of all time. I just love the white and the blue and the gold, just how much it pops. It's an absolutely beautiful belt, and yeah, I just wanted to have this one as my second ever replica. It's not nearly as heavy as the World Championship, and it doesn't have nearly as many autographs as the World Championship, but I really do love it, and I plan on getting it signed more. Like I said, I got this guy just before WrestleMania 34, so I've had it for just about 2 years now, and it is signed by only 3 people because I had 2 different mentalities with my title. Where my World Championship, I got it signed by everyone that I met at a couple of events. This one is only getting signed by former Intercontinental Champions. So for autographs, we've got one here that's in between the snaps on the left side of the title, and it is the Big Show. On the back here, we have got one as well, and it is Zack Ryder, and he also wrote IC Champ, so I really like how that looks. And my favorite one on the title was the VIP that I bought for WrestleMania 34, and it is Daniel Bryan. He signed it. Yes, Daniel Bryan. Daniel's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, and it was just so great to finally meet him and get his autograph on the title that he returned and won in 2015. But I just absolutely love this title. It's such a beautiful piece. So that is the Intercontinental title. Now let's take a look at the World Heavyweight title. And here is the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, the #1 piece in my entire collection, the #1 thing that I own. This thing has so much sentimental value, and it's just absolutely beautiful. As you can see, I do have the custom side plates on here from WrestleMania 34 in Dallas, Texas. It's got the date on it that I attended my first WrestleMania. It was really cool to have saved up my money from literally like a babysitting and birthdays and Christmas, going to my first WrestleMania. My mom surprised me that we were going, and I just had all this saved up money, and I continued to save until the day, and I was able to purchase this World Championship with the side plates from WrestleMania. And this is actually before I had my YouTube channel, so unfortunately I don't have any vlogs covering it or anything from that WrestleMania, but I did start my YouTube a few months after. The whole WrestleMania experience is basically what kickstarted me wanting to become a YouTuber and wanting to share my love of professional wrestling with you guys. But I did get this thing signed by literally every person that I did meet at WrestleMania 32 and Survivor Series 2016 weekend in Toronto, which I actually do have vlogs covering it. But this thing is literally covered in signatures. On the back here, there is just so many to name here. and I can't really go through each individual one just because there's so freaking many of them. And then some of my favorite ones are also on the front here. As you can see, there's a few on this side as well as a few on this side here. I'll go through my personal favorites. So on the front here, on the left side of the title, we've got Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Bayley, and Dean Ambrose. Whereas over on the right side, we've got Shane McMahon, Cesaro, AJ Styles, and Chris Jericho. In terms of on the back, there are just literally, like I said, so many people I could name back here. We've got legends like DDP and Jerry Lawler, to current superstars like The Miz, Kane, Braun Strowman, a few odd ones in there like The Ascension and James Ellsworth, but it is literally signed by so many people. Pretty well everyone that I did meet during WrestleMania 32 and Survivor Series 2016 weekends, and this thing just has a ton of sentimental value to me. I just love it. It is my #1 item in my collection. But once again, it is a tie with the Intercontinental Championship, so the #1 item or items in my collection are definitely my 2 replica titles here. I do want to get more autographs on this one, but I do love them both to pieces. This one, once again, would have to be my favorite if I had to pick one, but I just love them both. So that's pretty well going to do it for the video, guys. Let me know down in the comments below, what's your favorite WWE item in your collection? Hit the like button if you did enjoy the video, subscribe to the channel if you've never seen my beautiful face before, hit the notification bell to be the first to know whenever I upload, follow me on all my social medias down below, and I will see you all very soon.